What if I told you, your entire day could shift in the next few minutes, without anything outside changing? Just your heart. Stay here, because what you're about to pray is not ordinary. Before anything else touches your mind today, pause for a moment. Not for the world. Not for notifications. Not for pressure. Just for this truth. You are already carried into this morning by a mercy you didn't earn. And that changes everything. Because most people wake up and immediately feel the weight of the day. But what if the weight was never meant to be carried alone? What if today is not something you survive, but something you are guided through? And here's the twist most people miss. The peace they're searching for isn't at the end of the day. It's already waiting at the beginning, hidden inside surrender. Let's be honest for a second. Most mornings don't feel magical. They feel rushed. Heavy. Uncertain. You open your eyes, and instantly your mind starts listing problems. Work. Money. Health. People. Delays. Pressure. But here's something powerful you may not notice. The fact that you woke up is already a message. A quiet one. Life has already been given again. Breath has already been supplied again. Strength has already been renewed again. And that alone carries meaning. But here's where most people go wrong. They think the day starts with their effort. When in reality, it starts with grace. And grace is already ahead of you. Somewhere in your morning, God has already placed help you haven't seen yet. A door you didn't notice. A protection you didn't recognize. A strength you haven't tapped into yet. And the question is, will you rush past it? Or pause long enough to receive it? Because what you call just another morning, heaven calls another chance. And that shift in perspective changes everything. Now let's talk about something real. There are mornings when you don't feel strong. You pray, but it feels quiet. You try to believe, but thoughts feel loud. And you start wondering, where is God in all this? But here's the twist. Silence is not absence. And distance is not rejection. Sometimes, what feels like emptiness is actually unseen strengthening. Think about it like this. A tree doesn't grow by feeling the roots grow. It grows because something is happening beneath the surface. And your life is no different. There are seasons where God is not removing the pressure. He is building endurance inside it. There are moments where nothing looks different outside. But everything is shifting inside. And this is where most people lose hope. Because they judge God's presence by visible results. But God never asked you to measure Him by feelings. He asked you to trust Him by promise. And here's the promise. You are not walking alone today. Not in the silence. Not in the confusion. Not in the waiting. Even when you don't feel it, you are held. Let's go deeper. Have you ever looked back at your life and realized, that delay saved me? Or, that closed door protected me? At the time, it felt frustrating. But later, it made sense. And here's the question. What if even today is full of that kind of hidden guidance? Not loud. Not dramatic. But real. Sometimes guidance looks like hesitation. Sometimes it looks like a change of plan. Sometimes it looks like peace or discomfort that doesn't make sense yet. But here's the truth. Not everything that feels right is right. And not everything that feels delayed is denied. There is a kind of wisdom that doesn't shout. It whispers. It nudges. It redirects. And when you slow down enough to notice it, your whole day changes. Because suddenly you're not just reacting to life. You're being led through it. And that's where clarity begins to rise. That's where confusion loses control. That's where peace starts to take over again. But only if you're willing to listen beneath the noise. Now here's the turning point. Most stress doesn't come from the day itself. It comes from trying to control it before it even begins. Think about it. Half the things you're worried about today haven't even happened yet. And yet they already feel heavy. But what if the solution isn't more control? What if it's surrender? Not giving up, but giving over. Because the moment you release the need to manage everything alone, something shifts inside you. You stop fighting the day and start walking with it. You stop bracing for impact and start receiving direction. And here's where peace enters quietly. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer carrying everything alone. And that changes your entire posture toward life. Now imagine this. You step into today not empty, but covered. Not anxious, but guided. Not overwhelmed, but steady. Not because life changed, but because your alignment did. And suddenly you realize something powerful. You were never meant to carry the whole weight of the day. You were meant to walk it one step at a time, with presence, not pressure. And in that realization, peace becomes real again. Not as a feeling, but as a foundation. So as you move through this day, don't rush past the small moments. Don't ignore the quiet guidance. Don't underestimate simple peace. Because sometimes, the biggest shift in your life begins in the smallest surrender of your heart. Let today be that shift. Let today be the moment you stop carrying what was never meant to crush you. And start walking with awareness that you are not alone in any of it. If this message gave you peace today, take a moment and write "Amen" in the comments. Not as a routine, but as agreement. And if you want more prayers like this every morning, subscribe, because the next one might meet you exactly where life gets hardest. And remember this before you go. You are not stepping into today alone. You are stepping into it covered.